Michael Avenatti, the silver tongue attorney who has suddenly become the center of the Stormy Daniels saga, has been very public and vocal about defending his client's interest, particularly in the face of recent sexist attacks. I was quick to call former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani a pig after the president's new personal lawyer dismissed her claim by arguing that Daniels has no reputation. If you're going to sell your body for money, you just don't have a reputation, the adult film star claimed Donald Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid her $130 in October 2016, 1 month before Trump was elected president, for her silence about an affair with The Apprentice star Atalek Tao even a decade before. Avenatti says those who try to diminish his client's credibility on the grounds of what she does for a living. Salon spoke with Avenatti about the sexism directed against his client, as well as other matters. Salon, how is Stormy Daniels doing by the way, during all of this? I mean, I can imagine it's been stressful. Is she handling it with aplomb, like how is she viewing her role in the current political maelstrom? Michael, she's handling it incredibly well. She's a very strong. She has incredible fortitude and perseverance and I've been nothing but impressed with the way that she's handled it. There's been a number of security concerns that continue to arise, but regardless of them, she's shown absolutely no weakness and she is 100% committed to seeing this through to the end. Salon, when you say there've been a number of security concerns, including those that continue to arise, have any of them come from Trump or his political ally? Michael, when you say political ally, that's a very broad term, but I don't think that the people that are making these threats against me, my client and our families are certainly supporters of the Democratic Party. I think there are certainly supporters of the President, Republican Party, and the far right. In any event, there's nothing to indicate that any of them have direct ties to the President. Salon, now we want to get to the thing that I find very interesting about this, which is the historical significance of this case. What kind of role would you like it, would you ultimately hope to see it play in terms of Donald Trump's presidency and holding him accountable, particularly for what he has done to your client? Michael, no, I would hope that history would look favorably upon my client and this cause. I hope that history look upon her as someone that had incredible courage and strength and stood up for doing the right thing at the right time. Was one of the few individuals that have the courage and fortitude to go up against this president, who has bullied many people and intimidated them and threatened them. Salon, what about your own role? I mean, you're not just a lawyer, you're someone who is taking on the most powerful man in the world. I have to imagine that you've had time to sort of sit back and think 20, 30, 40 years from now, how will people remember what I'm doing? How does that feel? What kind of thoughts do you have? Michael, a lot of people may not believe this answer, but it's 100% the truth. I'm being nothing but honest when I say this. I really haven't had that moment to sit back and think about how it's history going to judge me when all of this is said and done. I'm trying to take one day at a time, 1 hour at a time right now, frankly. There's a lot of moving pieces to this. It's a very dynamic fast-moving situation, incredibly fast-moving. High pressure, high stake, I don't have any time to really sit back and think about how history may write this. What my role may ultimately be when the history of this is written. I say this, whatever is written, I hope it's positive, that I hope that it reflects that I did a great job for my client. Salon, I would like to go to something USAID recently, which even though it was a response to something in the immediate news cycle, I do think it has some broader and deeper significance. When Rudy Giuliani said, and I'm going to quote him, if you're going to sell your body for money, you just don't have a reputation, to referred to him as absolute pig. Now obviously part of the reason USAID that is because they attack your client and you were right for doing it for that reason. I mean there is an undercurrent of misogyny there. I was wondering if you'd be interested in unpacking some of why you found that statement to be so offensive. Michael, why do we even talk about it, an undercurrent of the misogyny? I think it's front and center misogyny. I think that Mr. Trump and Mr. Giuliani share those views and I think they're disgusting. I think that, ultimately, women in America are going to make them pay the price. Whether it's in 2018 or 2020, at least, certainly hope so. I think there should be a very stiff price to be paid. Salon, now, do you think people, in general, have been looking at this case differently because of what Daniels does for a living? If she was a model or an actress or a waitress or some other vocation, do you think people would be more sympathetic and more understanding than they are now? Michael, I think the people that were not going to support her, were not going to support her regardless of her profession. I will say that I have been pleasantly surprised and encouraged by the amount of support that she has received from women across this country. I have been very pleased with the fact that many women look beyond what she does for a living. When it comes to judging her credibility, that has been refreshing, encouraging and I hope it continue. Salon, do you think is Trump fearful? Do you like, and you think he should be? Do you want to elaborate on that a little? Michael, there's no question that he knows my client is telling the truth because he was there and this happened. I think 80% of Americans have viewed her 60-minute interview and came away believing my client. I know people on the right that are staunch supporters of the president, and even they comment to me on how much credibility she had. How much they believed her at what she said. In my view, there's zero question. She was telling the truth during that interview. Mr. Trump knows it, I think the First Lady knows it. I think Mr. Giuliani knows it, they know exactly what happened here. I think Mr. Trump also knows that he participated in the cover-up relating to this $130 payment. He picked the wrong fix to handle it. I picked the game Michael Cohen, who is not that tough and is a moron. Salon, Michael Cohen, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed at that, but it was, I take it you would not consider Michael Cohen to be your professional equal, Michael, hardly, nor what I consider him to be the Socrates of our time. Salon, not even Aristotle, I won't go Aristotle for him, Michael, he won't go to Socrates, Aristotle, or Plato. Salon, okay, he's lost all of the major Greek philosophers. He would actually like to go back to something else involving gender.